and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devi Dasi from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Yashimati Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day and chanting so nicely. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, this is Suksagri. Danvat pranams to all the devotees. All goes to Shishi Guru Gauranga and Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Suksagari Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your recitation. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Preeti Vilasini Devidasi from Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you Mataji for your warm welcoming, and thank you Jyoti Mataji for that very, very beautiful recitation of the Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your recitation. Welcome to the call, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Gurudev. This is Chinmayi Vrajapriya Devi Dasi.
Hare Krishna, Chinmayi Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Eagerly waiting to hear from you, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna. No, my phone. Yeah, is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Please go ahead. Okay. Preeti Mataji, would you like to start the recording? Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have Her Grace Cinmayi Vrajapriya Mataji to enlighten us on the topic of Gaura Katha. Before I hand over the call to her, I would like to read Srila Prabhupada's quote. Krishna, okay. Simply by changing dress, one does not improve. One does not improve unless he is seriously takes the principles of devotional service. But in Kali Yuga, they think because I have changed my dress, I have become a big sannyasi. You see, because I have got a sacred thread, now I am a brahmana. No, there must be regularly. Regular training. Vrindavan, March 12th, 1974. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And Her Grace Cinmayi Mataji is going to enlighten us on the topic called Sri Caitanya Dayanidhi. Hare Krishna, Cinmayi Vrajapriya Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining this mid-morning and enlightening us on the topic of Gaur Katha. Over to you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you, Mataji, for the warm welcome. Thank you, Preeti Vilasini Mataji, for giving me this opportunity to glorify the Supreme Lord. Thank you, Kirtida Mataji. Vansha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. I bow down to each and every Vaishnava assembled here. Please bless me that whatever I talk should be totally in accord with Srila Prabhupada and Srila Guru Maharaj, and no words from my own mental concoction should rise. I have something to share. We'll start with the Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तु ते तप्त काञ्चना गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम् जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधारा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दं माधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरं हरिः ओं तत्सत् जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा जय द्वैता चंद्र गौर भक्त वृंदा जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा जय द्वैता चंद्र गौर भक्त वृंदा जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा जय अद्वैता चंद्र गौर भक्त वृंदा Hare Krishna, Mataji's and Prabhuji's. So, we are in this fortnight of Gaura Smaran Leela, Gaura Leela Smaran. So, today we'll see, we have the topic Sri Caitanya Dayanidhi. He's the ocean of mercy. So, he's the mercy incarnation himself. So, Parama Karuna Pahuduijana Nithai Gaura Chandre. So, we'll see some pastimes and some we'll first take a verse and then we will go from there. So here Mahaprabhu has finished his South India tour and he comes back to Jagannath Puri, and at that time there are many personalities who have been waiting to see him, and one of them is our Swarup Damodar Goswami. Swarup Damodar Goswami comes, surrenders to Mahaprabhu, and that's it. After that day, he never leaves the association of Mahaprabhu. So when he surrenders to Mahaprabhu, he begins with this beautiful verse. He says this beautiful verse. I'll recite this verse. There's a prayer. Helodhunita khedaya vishadaya प्रोन्मीलदामोदया शाम्यच्छास्त्रविवादया रसदया चित्तार्पितोन्मादया शश्वद्भक्तिविनोदया समदया माधुर्यमर्यादया श्रीचैतन्यदयानिधे तव दया भूयादमन्दोदया. This is a very beautiful verse. Will any of you like to recite this prayer?
Mataji, can I do it?
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hello, Dhunita Khedaya Vishada Pramonmiladamot. Oh, I again messed up the tune, I think so.
No, Mataji, please.
Yeah, it's Mataji the same, right?
Mataji, I just said, Mataji, I don't know the meters. You know them better. And
No,
I
no.
have heard you recite this in a class before, so please go ahead, Mataji.
Hello, Dhunita Khedaya Vishadaya Pramonmiladamodha Shamyat Shastra Vivatyarasadaya Chitrapo Pitonmadaya Shashvat Bhakti Vinodaya Samadaya Madhurya Maryadaya Shri Chaitanya Dayanidhi Tavadaya Bhuyadamo Amandodaya. Sorry, ma.
Oh, beautiful, Mataji. Thank you. Thank you so much. Preeti Vilasne, Mataji?
But I want to recite. But can I change the meter? I mean, little bit because I don't.
Mataji, definitely.
Helo dhunitakedaya vishadaya प्रोन्मीलदामोदया सम्यक् शास्त्रविविधाय रसब्धया चित्र अर्पितोन्मादया शश्वद्भक्तिविनोदया समदया माधुर्यमर्यादया श्रीचैतन्यदयानिधे तव दया भूयादमन्दोदया.
Beautiful. Thank you. Actually, it was Shardul
Very
Vikriditam. Thank you, Preeti.
Very beautiful, Matajis. Will anybody like to read word to word? Or I can go. If you are all busy, please tell me, Matajis. I don't do this interactive thing. I know everybody will be busy. If only somebody is interested, otherwise I'll go on.
I can do it. Hela, very easily. Uddhunita, driven away. Khedaya, lamentation. Vishadaya, which purifies everything. Pron milat, awakening. Amodaya, transcendental bliss. Shamyat, mitigating. Shastra, of revealed scriptures. Vivadhaya, disagreements. Rasadaya, distributing all transcendental mellows. Chitta, in the heart. Arpita, fixed. Unmadaya, jubilation. Shashvat, always. Bhakti, devotional service. Vinodaya, stimulating. Samadaya, full of ecstasy. Madhurya, a conjugal love. Maryadaya, the limit. Sri Chaitanya, O Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the topic for today, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Dayanidhe. O ocean of mercy, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Tava, your daya, mercy, bhuyad, let it be. Amanda, of good fortune, Udaya, in which there is awakening. Sorry, Jyoti, I took your turn.
No, Mataji, there's plenty Mataji translation, purport, everything. So please, Mataji can read. Thank you, Preeti Mataji. Mataji, Jyoti Mataji, please go ahead, Mataji. Translation. Jyoti Mataji?
Jyoti Mataji.
Mataji, Vrinda will read Mataji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna ji.
Complete Vrinda. Oh, ocean of.
Ocean of purport, Mataji. Vrinda can read purport. Three
Is Jyoti
slides.
Mataji unmuted, Mataji? If she was not speaking, then only I.
Jyoti Mataji, unmute.
Mataji, let Vrinda go, then I will do. Sorry,
Okay.
Mataji.
Okay, you were not unmuting. That's why I asked Mataji. Okay. Okay, read. Oh, ocean of mercy.
O ocean of mercy, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, let there be an awakening of your auspicious mercy, which easily drives away all kinds of material limitation. By making everything pure and blissful, indeed, your mercy awakens transcendental bliss and covers all material pleasures. Can I read the next one?
Yeah.
By your auspicious mercy, quarrels and disagreements arising among different scriptures and vanquish. Your auspicious mercy pours forth transcendental mellows and thus causes the heart to jubilate. Your should I read it? Oh, your mercy, which is full of joy, always simulates devotional service and glorifies conjugal love of God. May transcendental bliss be awakened within my heart by your causeless mercy. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Rinda. Thank you. This is a beautiful purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. So, Jyoti Mataji, you can read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you.
This important verse, Sri Chaitanya Chandrodaya Nataka 8.10, specifically describes the Lord's causeless mercy. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura explains that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the most magnanimous personality of Godhead, distributes his causeless mercy in three ways to the conditioned soul. Every living entity is morose in the material world because he is always in want. He undergoes a great struggle for existence and tries to minimize his miserable condition by squeezing the utmost pleasure out of this world. But the living entity is never successful in this endeavor. While in a miserable condition, a person sometimes seeks the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but this is very difficult for materialistic people to obtain. However, when one becomes Krishna conscious by the grace of the Lord, the fragrance of the lotus feet of the Lord expands, and in this way a materialist may gain freedom from his miseries. Actually, his mind is cleansed by his transcendental connection with the lotus feet of the Lord. At such a time, one is enlightened by the loving service of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. There's more to the purport. Anybody else wants to read? Or Mataji?
Mataji, may I read?
Yes, Mataji. Please go.
There are many different kinds of scriptures, and by reading them, one often becomes puzzled. But when one receives the mercy of the Lord, his confusion is mitigated. Not only are scriptural disparities resolved, but a kind of transcendental bliss is awakened, and in this way one is fully satisfied. The transcendental loving service of the Lord constantly engages the conditioned soul in serving the Lord's lotus feet. Through such fortunate engagement, one's transcendental love for Krishna is increased. One's position is thus completely purified, and one is filled with transcendental bliss, accompanied by the spirit soul's jubilation. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Anybody else wants to read?
Thus, the transcendental causeless mercy of Lord Krishna is manifested in the heart of the devotee. At such a time, a material needs no longer exist. The lamentation that invariably accompanies material desires also vanishes. By the grace of the Lord, one is elevated to the transcendental position, and then the transcendental mellows of the spiritual world are manifested in him. One's devotional service then becomes firm, and one engages in the Lord's transcendental loving service and with great determination. All these combine to fully awaken the devotee's heart with love of Krishna.
Mataji, can I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
In the beginning, a conditioned soul is bereft of Krishna consciousness and is always morose in his material activities. Later, by associating with pure devotees, one becomes inquisitive to know the absolute truth. In this way, one begins to engage in the transcendental service of the Lord. Next, by Lord's grace, all misconceptions are vanquished and the heart is cleansed of all material dirt. It is only then that the pleasure of transcendental bliss is awakened. By the Lord's mercy, one is completely convinced of the value of devotional service. When one can see the pastimes of the Lord everywhere, he is firmly situated in transcendental bliss. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. This is the last paragraph of the purport. Anybody wants to read?
May I read?
Can I read, Mataji?
Sure, any one of you, Mataji.
One second. Hare Krishna. Such a devotee is reviled of all kinds of material desires, and he preaches the glories of the Lord all over the world. These Krishna consciousness activities separate him from the material activities and the desire for liberation. Because at every step, the devotee feels himself connected with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although such a devotee may sometimes be involved in household life, he is untouched by material existence due to his constant engagement in devotional service. Thus everyone. Sorry, Mataji. Thus, everyone is advised to take shelter of devotional service to become happy and liberated. End of Bhaktivedanta purport. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you all, Matajis, for reading. So as you all see, it's a very beautiful purport, and Srila Prabhupada is explaining how this ocean of mercy flows, and how it starts from clearing the dirt in our heart. All the lamentation is gone, confusion is gone, and then he instills the transcendental mellows in us, and slowly we have to then grow. That Bhaktilata Bija starts, and then we have to grow, and then it goes up till Nishtha, and then the Lord rewards Prema to us. So basically, Prabhupada in this purport, he says this ocean of mercy, it flows to relieve three main things. It does three main things when it flows. One, it relieves the material lamentation. Two, it relieves confusion caused from various scriptures. And three, it invokes devotional service in the heart. So we will see different pastimes in relation to all these three different topics. So the first one is to relieve material lamentation. So in this topic, we will see three pastimes. One will be of a person who has bodily disease, and thus there is material lamentation. The second, we will see there is lots of anarthas, envy towards the Supreme Lord himself, and that results in bodily disease, and the Lord relieves that person of all those things. And then the third one, we will see a person who is filled with sinful propensities. So the first one, bodily disease, any guesses? Vasudeva Vipra. So Vasudeva Vipra was a Brahmana in Kurmasthana, and he was a very devout Brahmana, but he was afflicted with leprosy, and it was in a very severe condition. He had those leprotic nodules all over, and these nodules were giving out pus, and which was causing a bad bodily odor from him. And these nodules were also attracting worms and maggots, and it was a very, very pathetic situation which Vasudeva Vipra was in, but he was a very devoted Brahmana. And we all know Mahaprabhu spends time in Kurmasthana in his South India trip, and he spends time with the Kurma Brahmana. And then this word spreads around in the village that Mahaprabhu has come. And so this Vasudeva Vipra makes a decision and starts coming towards Kurma Brahmana's house. But by then Mahaprabhu leaves the place and he goes. So Vasudeva Vipra comes and sees that Mahaprabhu has already left, and he becomes so sad, he falls down, losing his consciousness, and he starts lamenting. But our Mahaprabhu is the Paramatma in everybody's heart. So he at once manifests himself there. again. And then he sees this Brahmana who's in such a pathetic condition, and he picks him up and embraces him. So, um, and when he embraces, when he embraces him, at that time, this Vasudeva Vipra says this beautiful verse. He says, Bahustuti kari kahe shuna doya maya jive e guna nahi tomate ihaya more dekhi mora gandhe palaya pamara hena more sparsha tumi swatantra ishvara. The Brahmana Vasudeva continued, O my merciful Lord, such mercy is not possible for ordinary living entities. Such mercy can be found only in you. Upon seeing me, even a sinful person goes away due to my bad bodily odor. Yet you have touched me. Such is the independent behavior of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We were seeing on Monday, even Mataji was saying how Sanatana Goswami also was afflicted with a skin condition, and he was so, of course, Sanatana Goswami is nowhere in the material lamentation stage, but he didn't want Mahaprabhu to touch him, but Mahaprabhu would keep embracing him. So this is our most merciful Mahaprabhu. And then Vasudeva Vipra says, by this embrace, what happened? All that the bodily disease vanished, and he got a beautiful, handsome, good looking body. And so after this, Vasudeva Vipra becomes very scared that what if I become a very proud person now? So Mahaprabhu says, Prabhu kahe kabhu to mara nahabe abhimana nirantara kahatumi Krishna Krishna nama. So to protect the Brahmana, Mahaprabhu advised him to chant the Hare Krishna mantra incessantly. And he said, by doing so, you will never be unnecessarily proud. And hence our Mahaprabhu got the name Vasudevamrita Prada, one who reclaimed the leper Vasudeva. So the next pastime, you all know very well, it is Amogha. I'll tell this pastime in a very short way because all of us know this so well. So we know that Navadvip Vasis come every year to our Jagannath Puri during the Chaturmasya. They are there, Rath Yatra is done, and then they spend time with Mahaprabhu, and then after 4 months they go back. So this was one such year when the Navadvip Vasis had returned. And when they are there, they take over Mahaprabhu fully, and they are always giving him invitations and serving him. So after they left, Mahaprabhu was a little free, and then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya goes to Mahaprabhu's house and invites him. He says, so Mahaprabhu, you come to my home every day for lunch prasadam for at least a month. And Mahaprabhu says, no, I am a sannyasi. I can't come to your house every day to accept prasadam. So from 30 days, it comes to 20 days, then 15 days, then 10 days, then 5 days. So 5 days, finally, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya pleads and says, 5 days in a month, you have to come. And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya says, today itself, that those 5 days start, you are coming today itself. And then he rushes home, and his wife is called Shathira Mata. So both of them, they cook a very elaborate feast. And actually, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house, from the kitchen, there are 2 rooms. One is the altar room, and the other room, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya would have built it specifically for Mahaprabhu to come and accept prasadam there. So this room will have a door from the outside and then a door from the kitchen so that they can serve. So and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya will have a son-in-law by name Amogha. And this Amogha will have the tendency of fault finding, criticizing, everything. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya would have made sure that this Amogha will nowhere be near when Mahaprabhu is having his prasadam. So Mahaprabhu comes, and he sees the beautiful arrangement of for the feast in a beautiful banana leaf big mound of rice with ghee running over the rice, and small bowls of banana leaves everywhere with different kinds of vegetables, spinach, sweetmeats, different fried dishes, yogurts, everything was arranged. And Mahaprabhu is very pleased. He says, "Oh Sarvabhauma, you serve the Lord so well, and how come you both have cooked this feast in such a short time?" So saying this, Mahaprabhu begins to accept the prasadam. So while Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was busy serving Mahaprabhu, this Amogha sneaks in and he sees Mahaprabhu taking the prasadam, and he says, "Oh, there is so much of food here that 10 to 12 people can eat, and this Rinanshi and this sannyasi is eating all this alone." Hearing this, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya becomes so unhappy, so unhappy. He takes a stick and chases Amogha away. And then he comes and falls down at Mahaprabhu's lotus feet, and he begs for mercy. He says, "I am so sorry. I invited you for food and I insulted you. I happened to insult you." And Mahaprabhu says, "It's okay, it's okay. I didn't take any offense. It's fine." But Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and his wife, they become very aggrieved over it. And then, even after Mahaprabhu leaves, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya follows Mahaprabhu, keeps falling at his feet and begging forgiveness. And Mahaprabhu is like, "It's okay, just forget this." And but Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and his wife, they decide to fast and give up their lives. And in the meantime, Amogha, who ran away, will be afflicted with a very serious condition of cholera, and he's almost always there in the deathbed. And Gopinath Acharya goes and informs this to Mahaprabhu. When Mahaprabhu comes to know that Amogha is dying, he comes immediately to Amogha and he places his hand on Amogha's heart, and he says this: "Matsarya Chandala kene iha vasaila param apavitra sthana apavitra kaila." Why have you allowed the Chandala of jealousy to sit here also? In this way, you have contaminated a most purified place, your heart. That's the place where Krishna sits. Why have you allowed jealousy to sit here? And then he says, "Sarvabhauma sangeto mara kalusha hailakshaya kalmasha ghuchile jiva Krishna namalaya." But you are the son-in-law of Sarvabhauma. You are associated with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Because of that fact, all your contamination is now vanquished. Mahaprabhu says, all the servants, all the relatives, all the pets, insects, everybody in the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya are under my protection. And so he says this, and he tells Amogha, "Now you start chanting the Mahamantra Hare Krishna." "Shuni Krishna Krishna bali amogha uthila premonmade mattahaya nachite lagila." So now his bodily disease is gone. All the anarthas in his heart are gone by the touch and mercy of Mahaprabhu. And Amogha is jumping and dancing after hearing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and being touched by him. Amogha, who was in his deathbed, immediately stood up, began to chant the holy name of Krishna. He became mad with ecstatic love and began to dance emotionally. So this is Amogha was relieved by the mercy of Mahaprabhu. And this third pastime is this we learned recently in our Chaitanya Bhagavat class. So this is a sannyasi. He's a grihastha sannyasi. Definition of grihastha sannyasi given by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is a person who is calling himself a tyagi or renunciant, but he is very much attached to his home and all the material things. So this is one such sannyasi with a lot of sinful propensities, and we'll see how Mahaprabhu relieves him. So this pastime is related to Mahaprabhu going to Advaita Acharya's house in Shantipur. So we know that how Advaita Acharya has a big scheme going on, and he wants Mahaprabhu to come to him in Shantipur, and beat him and scold him for teaching Mayavad. And that way, Advaita Acharya will call himself Chaitanya Das. So that was Advaita Acharya's big scheme going on. And so he is sitting in Shantipur and he's teaching all Mayavad principles. And our Paramatma here, our Vishwambhara, he has understood it. So both Nimai and Nithai are now on their way to Shantipur, walking, and they come to a village called Lalitapur. And there, when they come to this village, there is a beautiful ashram. And Mahaprabhu sees this ashram, and he looks at Nithai and he asks, "Oh, Nithai, whose ashram is this?" And Nityananda Prabhu says, "I think it belongs to some sannyasi, and if we get to meet that sannyasi, we must be very fortunate people." And so the two supreme personalities of Godhead, they go to that ashram. And they are so effulgent, so beautiful that sannyasi sees them and he's very, very happy. And because he's a sannyasi, he's in the garb of a sannyasi, the two supreme lords immediately offer their obeisances to him. And then this sannyasi, he blesses them by saying, "Oh, may there be lot of wealth, may you have a good wife, long life," and all these blessings. And then our Mahaprabhu says, "प्रभु बले गोसाई ये न है आशीर्वादा हे न बल तोरे हो कृष्णेरा प्रसादा." "Oh Gosai, this is not a benediction. You should say, may you attain the mercy of Krishna. That is the benediction." So when Mahaprabhu says this, our sannyasi gets very angry. He's like, "Oh, I'm doing good on you. I'm giving you all this nice blessings. And what are you? You're a bala. You're a little boy. What do you know? And tell me, how can we, without eating, how can we perform devotional service?" So this way that sannyasi has his own arguments, and Mahaprabhu very patiently explains everything to him. And then they were and then the sannyasi is still a little angry, and then Nityananda Prabhu comes and glorifies him, and he says, "You called this boy a bala, so please forgive him." And then the sannyasi is very pleased with all the glorification which Nityananda Prabhu gave him, and he says, "Okay, you both come and take prasadam in my ashram." But the brothers say, "No, we have to go now. You can give us like a to-go bag or something," but the sannyasi insists that they should eat in his house. So the two brothers go, they take a bath in the Ganges, they come, they take some rest, and then the sannyasi gives them a very nice milk, mangoes, jackfruit, and all these things, and they offer it to Krishna, and the two brothers start accepting it. At that time, the sannyasi is sitting with a glass of wine, and he asks, "Do you want Ananda?" So at that time, his wife comes. So the sannyasi has a wife also. And she says, "Don't bother." And she's enchanted looking at the beauty of these two supreme lords. And she says, "Don't bother them. Let them eat in peace." And after some time, again he asks, "Do you want this Ananda?" So that way. And Mahaprabhu, very innocently, he looks at our Nityananda Prabhu and says, "What is this Ananda which he's talking about?" And Mahaprabhu says, Mahaprabhu is I'm sorry, Nityananda Prabhu is supposed to be the wise one who's traveled all over. And so he says, "I think it is wine." And immediately our Mahaprabhu closes his ears and tells Vishnu, Vishnu, and they run away from that ashram. But our Vrindavan Das Thakur says, "Nyasihaya madhyepiya stri sanga achare tathapi thakura gelya tahara mandire." Although this sannyasi drank wine and intimately associated with women, the Lord visited his house. Because why have the two brothers come? They have come to bestow their mercy on the most fallen. So even if they have all these sinful propensities, they come and they shower their mercy on them. And Vakya Vakya Kaila Prabhu Shikhaila Dharma Vishrama Kariya Kaila Bhojanera Karma. In the course of their conversation, the Lord taught him religious principles. He took rest in his house and ate there. So much of mercy was given by Mahaprabhu to that Grihastha sannyasi, that Vrindavan Das Thakur says, if not in this life, definitely in the next life, he will be a great devotee. So this is how the mercy flows from Mahaprabhu to relieve material lamentation. So next we will go to confusion in scriptures. How will that be relieved by Mahaprabhu? We'll see in pastimes, in two pastimes. So the first one is Keshav Kashmiri. So we all know this Keshav Kashmiri is also called Digvijay Pandit, and he was a great scholar who was traveling all over the country, defeating everybody, defeating great scholars, defeating various schools, and he was so eloquent that great scholars could not even understand his questions. So definitely there was no chance of they winning over. And that way he comes to Navadvip. So Navadvip is considered the hub, the best of all places of learning in the entire Jambudvipa. It was considered at that time. So this Digvijay Pandit comes to Navadvip. And then all the Bhattacharyas, the learned scholars of Navadvip are very scared. They don't know what to do. They are worried. They are like, definitely we can't defeat him. And if he defeats us, the name of Navadvip will be spoiled. And what shall we do now? So this way they were worried. And what was going on in our he was still Nimai Pandit then, running a school of grammar, and still very scholastic and arrogant. That was our Nimai Pandit then. And what is going on in our Nimai Pandit's heart? He's thinking, oh, this Brahmana is very proud. How shall I relieve him of his pride? And he says, if he thinks, if I relieve his pride in front in an assembly, then he will be so humiliated and hurt that he will give up his body. I don't want that to happen. I don't want to hurt him. I just want him to be rid of his pride. So thinking this way, Mahaprabhu, one evening, he is sitting in his school on the banks of Ganges, teaching grammar and logic to his students. At that time, this Digvijay Pandit, actually Digvijay Pandit, when he came to Navadvip, he came in a very great pomp and show with elephants, horses, followers, everything. But here he's come alone to the bank of Ganges in the evening to take his bath. At that time, he sees Nimai Pandit so beautiful, so effulgent, sitting there, and he gets just captivated and he comes to him. And Nimai Pandit greets him and he asks him to compose some verses to glorify Ganga. And at that time, Keshav Kashmiri, he has Mother Saraswati residing on his tongue. So he uses the most wonderful words, all the best of best literary ornaments, beautiful metaphors, and he composes for 3 hours continuously. He glorifies Ganga. And then after Nimai Pandit heard this, he picks up a verse and he asks Keshav Kashmiri to explain that verse. Initially, he glorifies him, and then he asks. But as soon as Keshav Kashmiri begins to explain the verse, Nimai Pandit started pointing out faults. He pointed out faults in the beginning, in the middle, and in the end of the verse. And this Digvijay Pandit was unable to properly explain because his intelligence had left him. There was he just could not think. What is so surprising? Vedas, Lord Ananta, Brahma, great demigods like Brahma, Shiva, they're all bewildered before our Lord. So what is the surprise that this happened to Keshav Kashmiri? But still the Lord was so gentle. He tells Keshav Kashmiri, Tumi o haila shranta aneka padiya, nisha o aneka yaya. Suitakagiya. You must be so tired after your long recitation, right? And it's also getting late. So please go home, take some rest, and come back tomorrow and we will continue our discussion. But Keshav Kashmiri was very disappointed and he was so sad in his heart. filled with a heavy heart, he went home and he was asking Mother Saraswati again and again, why did you do this to me? Why did you do this to me? A little boy came and defeated me, and he was feeling very sad and he started sleeping. And in his dream, Mother Saraswati came and she said, Ei Mata Prabhura. Oh, sorry, I didn't say this verse. I'm sorry. I can go on here. I'm sorry. So Mother Saraswati says, Ami Andra Pada Padme Nirastara Dasi Samukha Haite Apanare Lajjavasi. I am an eternal maidservant at his lotus feet, and I'm embarrassed to appear before him. आमी से बलिए विप्र तोमर जिह्वाया ताहा न सम्मुखे शक्ति न वसे अमाया. Although I speak through your tongue in front of him, I have no power. And she reveals the true identity of Nimai Pandit to Digvijay. And the next morning, this Digvijay Pandit is at the doorstep of Mahaprabhu, and he begs for forgiveness, and he says, Daiva bhage pailana toma darashane ebe kripa drishte more karaha mochane. I have met you by some great fortune. Now please deliver me by your merciful glance. And the Supreme Lord says, Serve Krishna and chant Krishna's holy name up till the time of your death. And saying this, Mahaprabhu embraced Digvijay Pandit. And with that, Digvijay Pandit was freed of all material bondage. So all the pride he had because of his scriptural knowledge, everything was totally destroyed, and he became a great Vaishnava. So one more pastime is Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So I will say this in a very short way because I think we are running out of time. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, we all know, was a great Mayavad scholar who was residing in Jagannath Puri. And the pastime I told of Amogha was when Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya has totally become an associate of Mahaprabhu. And he is a very, very elevated, pure devotee. But here he is still a Mayavad scholar because this is the first time he is seeing Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu was on his way from Navadvip to Jagannath Puri as soon as he got sannyasa, and he got the instruction from his mother that he has to stay in Jagannath Puri. So he was coming with Nityananda Prabhu and I think 2 or 3 more associates like Mukunda Datta and others. But then there was some mischief done by Nityananda Prabhu where he broke his danda, and Mahaprabhu becomes very angry and he says, I am going to go alone to Jagannath Puri, and he comes. So he comes alone, and looking at Jagannath, he displays all the Ashtasattvic ecstasies he exhibits, and he falls unconscious. So at that time, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya picks him up and gets him home. And then there is a discussion between Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Gopinath Acharya, who is his brother-in-law. Gopinath Acharya knows everything about Mahaprabhu. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya asks him, oh, he looks like a sannyasi, under whom has he taken his sannyasa vows? And the Gopinath Acharya says it is Keshav Bharati. And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya says, oh, Keshav Bharati, that is a second class sampradaya. So maybe I can do some purificatory processes on this beautiful looking sannyasi, and I will elevate him to first class sampradaya. And Gopinath Acharya says, he doesn't need any such thing from you. He is Supreme Personality himself here. And so again, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya corrects him and says, oh, no, the Supreme Lord is Three Yuga. He comes only in the 3 yugas. He does not come in Kali Yuga. So this person is not the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was that immersed in his Mayavad concept and his scholarship that he could not see Mahaprabhu. But we will see how Mahaprabhu changed him. So the next day, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya takes Mahaprabhu. He shows him Jagannath temple, everything, gives him a nice seat to sit because he's sannyasi. He sits down and then he starts explaining Vedanta. He recites, he gives various logical explanations. For 7 days it goes on, explanations on Vedanta. And Mahaprabhu is just sitting and listening. So Sarva Bhattacharya asks him, on the 8th day, he asks him, did you even understand anything? I am going on talking. This is to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And see what our Supreme Personality of Godhead says. He says, oh, I am a fool. I don't read Vedantas. I am sitting here just to obey your command. So then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya very patronizingly says, okay, if you're not understanding, you can ask me questions. I will answer you. Then Mahaprabhu reveals himself. He says, oh, I understood all the sutras which you said, the Vedanta sutras. They're all self-explanatory. But what you are saying is like a cloud which is covering them. That I'm not understanding. And then Mahaprabhu refutes all the logic, everything, all the theories which Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya puts forth. He refutes everything with a bhakti background. And then he quotes this beautiful verse. He says, Atma Ramascha Munayo Nirgrantah Hapi Urukrame Kurvanti Ahaitukim Bhaktim Ittam Bhuto Gunog Harihi. So, hearing this verse, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya says, oh, I am very fond of this verse and I wanted to hear the explanation from you for this verse. And then Mahaprabhu says, why don't you explain first? And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya gives 9 ways of explanation to this verse in using logic. And then Mahaprabhu starts. He gives 18 ways, not at all touching Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's explanations. He gives 18 ways of explanation. And on hearing all of these, then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, it's like a veil which gets removed, and he starts finally to understand that this person who is sitting here is none other than Krishna himself. And then he says, Ihota Sakshat Krishna Mui na janiya maha aparadhe kainu garvite haiya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is certainly Lord Krishna himself. Because I could not understand him and was very proud of my own learning, I have committed many offenses. And then Mahaprabhu decides to show his utmost mercy on Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He removed all his scriptural wrong understanding, everything he removed, and then he shows him more mercy on top of it by revealing him his four-handed form, Chaturbhuja form, and after that he shows his Shyama Vamshi Mukha Swakiya Swarupa. So he shows his original Shyama Sundara form also. And by this mercy of the Supreme Lord, all truths were revealed to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He could understand the importance of chanting the holy name and distributing the love of Godhead everywhere. And then he started composing 100 verses to glorify the Supreme Lord. And here the Lord hears all these verses and he becomes very happy and embraces Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And now Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya starts showing all the ecstatic symptoms and he becomes a Mahabhagavat. So we have finished 2 things. I'm so sorry, I may take a little extra time. Please bear with me. Now we'll go on to the third topic, which is devotional service in the heart. So Mahaprabhu's mercy is flowing, and now we'll see how he instills devotional service in the heart of people. So this is a pastime where Mahaprabhu makes Muslim soldiers into Mahabhagavats. So Mahaprabhu was in Vrindavan and Balabhadra Bhattacharya was with him. And in Vrindavan, Mahaprabhu was also being served by 2 more people. One was a Sanodia Brahmana who was Madhavendra Puri's disciple. And the other was a Rajputa by name Krishnadasa. So he comes and he wants to serve Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu accepts his service. And then Balabhadra Bhattacharya will also have a servant. So totally 4 people were engaged in serving Mahaprabhu in Vrindavan. But in Vrindavan, Mahaprabhu would show a lot of ecstatic symptoms. And once he had drowned himself in Vrindavan, and Balabhadra Bhattacharya goes and picks him up. And then Balabhadra Bhattacharya is very, um, um, he's very scared. He confides to the Brahmana and Krishnadasa that I'm very scared to keep Mahaprabhu in Vrindavan. Can we all take him to Prayag? And they all agree. And Mahaprabhu agrees to them because he understands their mood, and they all um, decide to go to Prayag. So Mahaprabhu is showing a lot of ecstatic symptoms because he's leaving Vrindavan. And then Balabhadra Bhattacharya makes Mahaprabhu sit on a boat. They cross the river, and then they start walking on the land to Prayag. And on the way, they all become very tired. So they rest under a tree. And while they were resting, a lot of cows were grazing there. And suddenly a cowherd boy plays flute. On hearing this flute, Mahaprabhu develops such ecstatic symptoms that he falls down and he completely loses his consciousness. He is foaming in his mouth, and his heart, his breathing stops. So, but his associates, they know what is happening here, and they were sitting beside him, waiting for him to come back. At that time, a group of Muslim soldiers, they were from a Pathana military regime or something like that. So they were walking, and they saw this sannyasi lying down and some people sitting beside him, and they uh, assumed that this sannyasi must have had some pot of gold or something, and these four people are some rogues who have killed this sannyasi, and they are trying to take the pot of gold. So they all came and they arrested the sannyasis. So this Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, so beautifully he explains, when they arrested, the two Bengalis were trembling in fear, but that Sanodia Brahmana and that Krishnadas, the Rajputa, they were very brave, and they were arguing with the Muslim soldiers. They were saying, how can you say this is, we were robbing the sannyasi? No, that is not the case. And I know so many people, I will get them to my support. So this way they were arguing. So the Muslim soldiers were there for a long time. And then Mahaprabhu regains his senses. And when he regains his senses, he loudly chants, Hari, Hari. So hearing this Hari, Hari from the lotus mouth of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all the Muslim soldiers who were there, it appeared as though they were struck by thunderbolts, and their heart started getting purified right there. And amidst them, there was one person who was a very grave, saintly person, and he was dressed in black. And he looked at Mahaprabhu, and he thought he can impart instructions from Quran to him. He can talk about impersonalism from Quran, and he comes. And but when he comes and he starts talking, Mahaprabhu says these things. He says, तुम्हारा शास्त्र कहे शेष एक ईश्वरा सर्वैश्वर्य पूर्ण तेन्हो श्याम कलेवरा. Mahaprabhu says the Quran accepts the fact that ultimately there is only one God. He is full of opulence, and his bodily complexion is blackish. So actually we can take this pastime into clearing the confusions of scriptures also. I just put it here. And then Mahaprabhu says Quran deals with fruitive activity, speculative knowledge, mystic power, and union with the Supreme. But ultimately, all these things are refuted, and the Lord's personal feature is established along with his devotional service. So this way, he clears all the misconceptions which were in the heart of that Pathan. And so the Pathan says, Seita Gosai Tumi Sakshat Ishvara More Kripa Karamui Ayogya Pamara. Since you are that very same Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, please be merciful upon me. I am fallen and unfit. So when all his confusions were cleared, he could clearly see that Supreme Personality of Godhead is none other than this sannyasi who is here, and he surrenders. And he says, I have studied the Muslim scripture very extensively, but from it, I cannot conclusively decide what the ultimate goal of life is or how I can approach it. But now that I have seen you, My tongue is incessantly chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and all the false prestige from being a learned scholar is gone. So this is what happens when Mahaprabhu's mercy falls on us. And then Mahaprabhu tells all the Muslim soldiers who were there, Krishna kaha, kaila upadesha, save Krishna kahe sabara haila prema vesha. So all the Muslim soldiers there began to chant Krishna, Krishna, and they were overwhelmed by ecstatic love. And among the Muslim soldiers, there was one very young person. His name is Bijuli Khan, and he was the son of the king. And he comes and falls at the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu. Okay. Krishna Bali Pade Se Mahaprabhu Rapaya Prabhu Shri Charana Dila Tanhara Mathaya. And what did our Mahaprabhu do? Mahaprabhu put his lotus feet on that Vijali Khan's head. And after bestowing his mercy upon them in this way, Mahaprabhu left. And what happened to all those Muslim soldiers? They all became mendicants, and later they were celebrated as Pathana Vaishnavas, and they toured all over the country and chanted the glorious activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, and this Vijuli Khan, who had received the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu on his head, he became a Mahabhagavata. So, we know how the residents of Varanasi, they became Vaishnavas. I'm not going to say this pastime. I said too many. So please forgive me. We know how Varanasi was filled with Mayavad sannyasis. Their leader was Prakashanand Saraswati. And they were always talking about impersonal Brahman, and they considered themselves Narayana and all these things. And how did Mahaprabhu win over all of them? Through his beauty and humility, he won over them. And all those sannyasis became such devout Vaishnavas, and they were chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra all the time. And we know during South India trip, when Mahaprabhu was going, he would walk on the streets of different villages, cities, towns, chanting Krishna, 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 Hey, Krishna, 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 Hey, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahimam, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshamam. And whoever heard Mahaprabhu chant this way, they also started chanting. Just the mere merciful glance of Mahaprabhu, they all became filled with ecstatic feelings, and they were jumping and chanting Hari, Hari, Hari. And they would follow Mahaprabhu for quite some time. And then after some time, the Lord would embrace these people. And by his embrace, he would invest some amount of spiritual potency in them. And then he would ask them to go home. And what would such empowered people do? These empowered personalities would go back to their own villages, and whomever they were seeing, those people were also beginning to chant Hare Krishna. And then they were getting that empowerment. And so whomever they were seeing, those people were also getting empowered. So this way, exponentially, Mahaprabhu was spreading Krishna Prema, and he was filling the entire South India with ecstasy and Krishna Prema. And in fact, Srila Guru Maharaj says, what mercy Mahaprabhu bestowed on South India, he didn't do it even in Navadvip. So this is our Mahaprabhu and his mercy flowing. So to summarize the purport which Srila Prabhupada gave in the beginning of our session, the causeless mercy of our Gaura, of our Karuna Gaura, flows this way, that first all our lamentation and confusions are vanquished, then we get situated transcendentally, then Mahaprabhu infuses transcendental mellows in us, fixes our devotional service, and rewards us loving service with determination. So this is a quote from Srila Prabhupada. Mahaprabhu's special mission is the deliverance of all fallen souls in Kali Yuga. So we should persistently seek the favor and mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to become fit to go back home, back to Godhead. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you all Matajis and Prabhujis for listening patiently. Please correct all my mistakes and please share your realizations. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Mataji. Very, very wonderful class, Mataji. Thank you so much for giving all nectarian pastimes, Mataji. Sorry, Vinita Mataji, I jumped in. I just cannot hold. Mataji's class was really so wonderful. Thank you so much, Mataji. And lastly, you said that Guru Maharaj said that what Mahaprabhu blessed for South India is not done even for Navadip also. And Guru Maharaj is having South India tour also this time. So I just related to that. Thank you so much, Mataji, for this class.
Thank you so much for that.
Hare Krishna, Cinmayi Vrajapriya Mataji. What an interesting class, very sweet. You just picked one verse of prayer by Swarup Damodar Goswami and split it into three aspects. Let me see if I remember. The first one was material lamentation is vanquished in the presence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All doubts in scriptural findings is cleared out. And then the third one is that love of God is awakened. Is that correct? Okay. Yeah, thank you. And relevant pastimes for each one of these. The first one was we saw Vasudev leper and Amokha. One was leprosy, the other was envy. And then the third one was that Daru Brahman, I mean the Daru Sannyasi. Yeah, that was like sheer, misguided mind. Yes. And then the second one was this one, removal of all the doubts in scriptures, as expected, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And was it Prakashanand Saraswati you spoke later? Who was it, Mataji?
I said Digvijay there, Mataji, Keshav Kashmiri.
Yeah, that was very nice, actually. Very nice idea. Yeah, Keshava Kashmiri. And then, of course, for awakening love of God, I really, really like that pastime, Mataji. So much of that Muslim chief and Mahaprabhu so nicely talking to him about the final thing that actually, even in your scripture, God is dark and he's a person. So and how, they also, when they saw the beauty of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and when he fell down like that, unconscious, they were thinking to help him. So I was thinking that is so beautiful, and Mahaprabhu acknowledges that, right? So that's why he was ready to enlighten this person and give him love. So nice. So thank you so much. I really like that Daru Sannyasi pastime and the last pastime. Of course, Prakashanand Saraswati also you mentioned. But then this unique Mataji, that pastime was about how Mahaprabhu interacted with that chieftain of the Muslims. Thank you much. It was
Thank
interesting.
you so much, Preeti Lasni Mataji. I could not have done it without your help. I always run everything by you and you correct me, you add, you give me so many points. So thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Chinmayi Mataji. Thank you, Priti Vilasni Mataji and Anita Mataji. Thank you so much, Chinmayi Mataji, for such a beautiful, beautiful class. Very grateful to you. The stories are so nice, so we can understand the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I really like that how Keshava Bharati, right? Keshava Kashmiri. Okay, so when he was finishing reciting all the verses, and he was not able to answer to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu the way you were saying, okay, fine, you go take rest and come back tomorrow. That was very nice, Mataji. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to tell him that, okay, that's fine, you go take rest. And the next day he will understand why actually he was not able to answer, because the dream comes. So he understands. He's a Supreme Lord. How can I cross him? Even Saraswati Devi says that. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for such a beautiful class. Very grateful to you, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you for your blessings and thank you for always being there, Vinita Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, is there anybody, any questions, any realizations? We have chat messages. Harita
Yes.
Mataji, Suksagari Mataji, Neetu Mataji is glorifying your class, Mataji.
Can I
Preeti
read?
Mataji, you're speaking.
Yeah, I was just thinking I'll quickly read. Jyoti
Thank you,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you for the chance to chant Bhagavad Gita. Kirtida Sundari Mataji was relishing your class a lot. She said, Hare Krishna, the class is going on so wonderful, but unfortunately she got a call, she had to leave, and she says she'll catch up with the recording. Suksagri Mataji is asking when the South India tour is. I think this is by Guru Maharaj. Then
Purnima Mataji. I don't know the exact dates. Maybe some Matajis who know can say.
yeah, then our Neetu Mataji says, Hare Krishna Mataji, it's a very sweet class. Sagri says, thanks Chinmay Mataji, the way you relate pastimes is so beautiful. And Harita Mataji says, it's a beautiful, beautiful class and explanation. And Yashomati Mataji also says, it was wonderful. And she offers her pranam and she talks about how Mahaprabhu gave his mercy. And Sindhu Mataji again thanks you for the beautiful class. Parima Mataji also thanks you for the loving pastimes, very absorbing, she says. And Lalitangi Mataji says wonderful pastimes and presentations. Thank you so much. And Vrunda Gopika Mataji, as always, says Koti Koti Dandavat Pranams. Chinmayi Radha, thank you for your association. Okay. And I wanted to ask a question and make a comment and see what you have to say about it. So when Guru Maharaj, when Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj says that the amount of mercy given to the South India people was immense and it was in fact greater than even what Navadvipasis received. Can you comment more, Mataji? What is happening in South India? I don't see them getting the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They have lost it or what? What is happening?
About maybe Mataji. It's just covered. I don't know, Mataji. You answer. I don't have such intelligence, Mataji.
I don't know too. I feel so bad. Yeah, he went all the way and he was distributing mercy and transforming the hearts of everyone, but I don't know what they forgot, including all of us. And we had to come back in touch with Srila Prabhupada. It was very magical that we had to come in touch with Srila Prabhupada to awaken that. Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Even I don't have an answer, but I'm so glad that at least some of us are fortunate and we are able to awaken it. Thank you.
I think Srila Prabhupada's Mercy ISKCON is such a famous organization, right, Mataji? Everybody knows ISKCON. And yes, whether, I mean, they know ISKCON and what they're doing. They'll definitely have some books. So I think that's there. It's there. It's how can Mahaprabhu's mercy not not go away or something? But I think some Matajis will
Lalita Mataji will add. Yeah. Please add, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji is very, very beautiful class. I mean, relishing 1 hour. You took us into Chaitanya Charitamrita and pastimes. Thank you so much, Mataji. Just to quickly add, I heard in a lecture of Guru Maharaj that why this happened was like before ISKCON, none of us knew who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When we know who is Krishna and Rama, Matsya Kurma, and in fact, we are chanting Lord Krishna's name and knowing about Srimad Bhagavatam because of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only. Vrindavan pastimes, Vrindavan was discovered like that. So what I heard was that the dark period after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left and pure devotees were practicing but not preaching much for more than a century or so. So because of that, by the influence of Mahaprabhu, whoever was there in South India, they went back to Godhead, of course, attaining Krishna Prem. And Nityananda Prabhu did that in Bengal because Mahaprabhu couldn't, do that personally. He traveled, so he empowered Nityananda Prabhu to preach from village to village, and he started off in Panihati. And so we can see that. And so this is what I've heard, that because of not sharing vigorously the knowledge, for about 3-4 generations. This was about to be lost thanks to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, and our Srila Prabhupada and his disciples continuing now. I don't have the reference of the lecture, but I heard this in a lecture. Just wanted to add that.
So beautiful, right? At least they got the opportunity to go back, to got it with Krishna Prem. They, at least the ones who encountered, delivered. So that was so nice to know, Mataji. Thank you. Thank you so much, Lalitangi Mataji, for clarifying. Yes. Yes, Indhu Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I actually have another follow-up question. See, Madhvacharya, although we come in that Gaudiya Madhva Sampradaya, there is no reference of Lord Chaitanya in Madhva in South India, right? Is there any? He met him on the way. That's all I know. But there is no reference in his biography or anywhere of Lord Chaitanya, correct? And he did not speak about Lord Chaitanya anywhere. Did he?
Sorry.
No, Mataji, Preeti Lasnima, I'm not even answering.
Sorry, I was sneezing and I didn't.
No, it's not for me, these questions. Preeti.
Who wants to answer the question though? I can tell something, but others can add. Madhvacharya, right? So Madhvacharya lived between 1238 and 1317. They were not contemporaries, first of all. So there was no scope for Madhvacharya to directly meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu came much later. He came 500 years ago. So Madhva's timeline was a totally different timeline. And of course, our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu meets the Tattvavadis. There is a beautiful chapter. You can read the chapter from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. They were just, like any other two great acharyas, when they meet, they will be intellectual debates. So with the Tattvavadis, there is a section where there's a very nice intellectual debate about the differences that Mahaprabhu brought out from the original Tattvavadis. Basically the philosophy is very similar, but there is a slight difference in the focus of how the worship is done and what is important and what is less important as a goal. So you can read that chapter. It's very interesting. Okay.
Oh, I see. Okay, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Because our lineage, at least my lineage, is Madhva's lineage, but I've never heard about Lord Chaitanya before. So it's all new for me. That's why I wanted to ask if there is any reference. Thank you, Mataji.
Mataji, one more difference, at least this is what I have heard. They are more focused into Lakshmi Narayana worship, right? Madhavas.
Actually, Madhvacharya himself worshipped Krishna a lot.
Yes, but their worship style is a little bit in the Aishwarya mood. That's what I had heard once. I don't know if I'm right again.
Yeah, the worshipable, so basically they are worshipable Lord as Krishna only. But the point is, they are, according to the philosophy, according to the Dvaita philosophy, while establishing the Supreme Lord, it is not established as Sri Krishna, like how it is established in our Shakti Parinamavad or the Achintya Veda discussions. So there the difference comes. And still we stem from the Madhvas, because our Dashamul, that is the basis of our Siddhanta by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, it comes from Navaprameya of Madhvacharya. So though we stem from them, there are some slight differences, just like how Visishtadvaita is different from Achintya Veda, or just like how Dvaita is different from Visishtadvaita. There are differences and there are similarities as well. So certain discussions are there in that chapter. But yes, their mood of worship, like you said, is an Aishwarya Bhav. It is not, there is no question of, Raghanuga Bhakti or invoking the Madhurya Rasa. That, or worshipping the devotees who are in the Madhuri Rasa. That concept is definitely not there. But still it is in the mode of Aishwarya. But Siddhanta-wise, there are some differences, yet many, many, many similarities. So that's why we still stem only from their Sampradaya. Yeah.
Very nice, Mataji. Yes, I've also heard. We only had Dasya Bhav. We didn't know anything beyond Dasya Bhav, right? For a long time. Dasya Bhav is the only thing.
Dasya is the primary. That's right. Yeah.
I think Lalitangi Mataji also.
Lalitangi will know better.
No, I'm just sharing what I heard. That Actually, Mahaprabhu revealed himself to Ramanujacharya also. There is one place where Ramanujacharya, when he went to the north, he visits Navadvip, and then he goes into ecstasy and seeing Mahaprabhu. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him not to reveal about himself. The same thing as he did to the Brahmana when he showed himself as Gopal. And so these acharyas, they don't reveal. And this question was asked to Guru Maharaj, and he explained that why? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is coming as a devotee, and when it is widely spread knowledge that he is a supreme Lord, then that will be a hindrance to his experiencing the devotional ecstasies of a devotee, and also his mission to come is to spread devotional service. That will also be kind of disturbed. So he made it in such a way that until his appearance was there, the knowledge about his appearance was covered. But after his the physical pastimes are wound, then it's widely spread that he's the Supreme Lord and he came for this purpose. So yeah, just sharing that with you.
I was also thinking that also satisfies the first question where how come so, like, yes, the people who were delivered went back to Godhead, but then why it didn't spread so widely is because Mahaprabhu also didn't want to reveal himself, right? Like you said now. Yeah, even with the Ramanuja people and others. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Very nice.
Thank you, Mataji. That was a very nice answer.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Preeti Mataji, for reading the comment session for me. You are the great savior of me. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you, dear devotees. Yes, Shivani Mataji. Oh, Suksagri Mataji. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt, Mataji. I just had a question. First of all, thanks so much, Chinmay Mataji, for the beautiful class. It was a very sweet pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates. Always a pleasure to listen. Thank you so much, Mataji. I was just wondering, this question is for that Mataji who asked, she's from Madhva. I've also heard that Madhavendra Puri and Ishwar Puri were part of that lineage. So do you have any reference for that, Mataji? Because, and that's why, our lineage is also considered the Madhva. That's what I've heard, Mataji. So I was wondering.
I've not, Mataji, at least I've not heard anything about Madhavendra Puri or Ishwar Puri or Lord Chaitanya. The only thing we know is the Udupi Krishna, right? That's all. There ends our knowledge of Madhva Sampradaya.
Mataji, if I can add, yeah. So the Vyasatirtha, who comes before Madhavendra Puri, he is a very celebrated guru, and his samadhi is also there in the Anegundi Dham, the Kishkinda Dham, with the Navasamadhis. Starting from Padmanabha Tirtha, who's also one of the most revered guru in the Madhava Sampradaya, and who also comes in our Gaudiya lineage. So Vyasatirtha is one person who is very, very well revered, and I think he was directly just above Madhavendra Puri. So if you can go through the Guru Parampara, Mataji, they are very famous saints in the Madhava Sampradaya.
Mataji,
so you're saying, sorry, so you're saying Madhavendra Puri's guru was in that Madhva lineage. That's what you're saying, Preeti?
Even Madhavendra Puri is also coming from that lineage only, but I'm just telling about some famous personalities whom the Madhavas will know. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was asking that other Mataji. She said she's from the Madhva. So I'm sure they have their lineage chart, and I was wondering if, Madhavendra Puri and Ishwara Puri also I've heard, also are seen on the chart. That's what I was asking.
Thank you. I can ask around, Mataji. I can ask around. I don't have it.
Mataji, isn't Madhavendra Puri's guru Lakshmipati Tirtha?
His guru is Vyasatirtha. So,
yeah, but Madhavendra Puri's guru is Vyasatirtha or Lakshmipati Tirtha? I had heard. No, I had somewhere I heard. That's why I just need the clarification if you know.
Yes. Lakshmipati Tirtha is the guru of Madhavendra Puri, whose guru is Vyasatirtha. They are very, very closely related. And Vyasa Tirtha is a very big name. He's a very, very big name in the Madhva Sampradaya. That's what I was trying to clarify. But yes, as you said, Lakshmipati is the immediate guru of Madhavendra Puri. But there is not much of a timeline difference between Vyasa Tirtha and Lakshmipati Tirtha.
Okay. Because Dad has this question to Keshavanand Prabhuji, because he has lived in Udupi for like 7 years. In one of his classes, I had asked him that, why, Madhava Sampradaya does not acknowledge that we are, also connected with them. I had asked this question. Because Keshavanand Prabhu also had mentioned this in one of his classes, and I clearly remember that I said because he had himself gone to those mathas in Udupi, and spoken to those those elevated preachers or the sadhus, that why is it that they said that it is not in our text and we do not accept. But yes, when I think, from what I have heard, Lakshmipati Tirtha was initiated Madhavendra Puri, but it was not probably acknowledged by the other people in the Sampradaya. That is why it was not known, and that is why it might not have been recorded. So this is what I had asked. I had also asked this question to Keshavanand Prabhuji. So this is my understanding. And if I stand corrected, please correct me, Mataji.
Oh, so Parma Mataji, you're saying that Lakshmipati Tirtha was in the Madhva Sampradaya, like Madhavendra Puri's Guru. Okay, Mataji.
Yes.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Is there any more further discussions, Mataji? Okay. If there are no more further discussions, once again, thank you so much, Chinmayi Mataji, for such a beautiful class. I would like to offer my obeisances to you and all the Vaishnavas assembled on the call. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhu bhyeva patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrindi ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Her Grace Cinmayi Vrajapriya Mataji ki jai. Thank you so much, Chinmayi Mataji. Hare Krishna, Hari Bol.
Gauranga, Nityananda.
Nityananda, Hari Hari Bol.